My beloved child. There is a reason you were guided here at this exact moment, because what has remained hidden for so long is no longer able to stay hidden. A quiet truth has been growing behind closed hearts, behind unfinished sentences, behind the silence that once made you question everything. And now that truth is beginning to rise. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, you may have believed that nothing was changing, that the distance meant absence, that silence meant emptiness, that what you felt was only your own imagination. But what you could not see was that deep inside another heart, your name was being held with unusual care. Even when they said little, even when they acted as though nothing mattered, something inside them continued returning to you again and again. There were moments they tried to explain away what they felt. They told themselves it would pass. They tried to stay practical, tried to appear calm, tried to move through ordinary days without allowing your memory to interrupt them. Yet each time they thought they had control, something small brought you back into their mind, a voice, a place, a song, a familiar hour of the day. Suddenly everything returned, stronger than before. Stay till the end, because this is where everything begins to shift. What they once kept hidden is becoming too strong to hide. The feeling that stayed buried is now reaching the surface in ways they can no longer ignore. They are noticing that even when surrounded by others, one thought keeps returning, you. In the middle of conversations, in quiet evenings, in unexpected pauses, your presence appears without warning. And what is surprising is that they themselves are beginning to realize how deep this has become. At first, they thought it was temporary. Then they noticed that time did not weaken it. Instead, every passing day added weight to what they tried to deny. There are things they never said aloud because they feared the meaning of those words. They feared what would happen if those feelings became visible. They feared how much would change if they admitted that you had become important in a way they did not expect. But silence has limits. Recently, something shifted inside them. A thought appeared clearly: why hide what already feels undeniable? Why continue pretending when the heart has already chosen its direction? That question has been growing louder. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There are signs around them now that make it harder to stay distant. Even ordinary moments have become reminders. A passing face that resembles you. A phrase that sounds like something you once said. A memory returning without invitation. These are not small interruptions anymore, they are becoming impossible to ignore. And the truth is, they have started speaking differently when your name appears. Even if they do not fully reveal everything, their tone changes. Their attention changes. The people around them notice details they themselves may not realize they are showing. A hidden feeling always reaches a point where it begins to reveal itself through small cracks first, through hesitation, through sudden softness, through unfinished words, through unexpected curiosity. That is where things are now. Something powerful is building because what they once protected so carefully is losing its walls. You may have wondered why certain moments lately felt unusually intense, why certain memories returned without warning, why your own heart sensed movement even without visible proof. Sometimes before truth appears outwardly, it creates a quiet pressure inwardly. Stay till the end. Because this is not only about feelings existing. This is about feelings reaching the point where they can no longer remain private. They are beginning to compare every connection around them to what they feel when they think of you, and that comparison is revealing something they did not want to admit: nothing feels the same. That realization is powerful because once someone understands that a certain presence affects them differently, they cannot easily return to pretending it means nothing. Even their quiet moments have changed. They pause longer. They revisit old thoughts. They imagine conversations that have not happened yet. They wonder how things would feel if honesty replaced distance. And the most surprising part is this: what they feared revealing is now what they most want to understand fully themselves. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what begins inside silence often arrives suddenly when the moment is right. A message, a gesture, a change in tone, an unexpected opening. Truth often appears after a long invisible preparation. What you are sensing is not empty hope. It is movement. Slow, quiet, but real movement. And while nothing may appear dramatic yet, hearts often change direction before actions become visible. This hidden chapter is approaching a turning point. They are carrying more emotion than they expected, and each day it becomes harder to act untouched. Do not skip. Because the next moment may arrive differently than the last. There is something unfolding behind what looks ordinary, and what has been concealed is closer than ever to being revealed. And now listen carefully, because the silence around this story is becoming thinner with every passing moment. What was once protected behind hesitation is beginning to slip into the open, and even they are surprised by how difficult it has become to keep everything hidden. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There are thoughts they tried to dismiss many times, yet those same thoughts return stronger each night. They would tell themselves to focus elsewhere, to remain unchanged, to keep everything ordinary, but your presence kept returning in unexpected ways. A single memory would interrupt their calm. A familiar feeling would appear without warning. And suddenly the emotions they tried to control became impossible to ignore. What makes this moment powerful is that they are no longer asking whether the feeling exists. Now they are asking how long they can continue pretending that it does not matter. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Very recently, something happened inside them that changed the way they look at everything. It may have been a simple moment, something outwardly small, but inwardly it created a realization they could not escape. They understood that every time they imagine peace, somehow your presence is included in that picture. That truth shook them more than they expected. Because once someone realizes that another person has quietly become part of their deepest thoughts, hiding becomes heavier than honesty. Even when surrounded by others, their attention drifts. They hear conversations but do not fully remain there. Their mind returns to unfinished thoughts connected to you. They replay old moments, small details, forgotten words, expressions, and the feeling that something important was left unsaid. Do not skip. Because what comes next is the part they never expected. They have started noticing that whenever your name appears, even casually, their reaction changes before they can control it. Their voice becomes softer. Their attention sharpens instantly. Their expression shifts in ways they cannot hide fast enough. Even if no words are spoken, the change is visible. And yes, someone around them has already noticed. That is why the hidden feeling is no longer fully hidden. Small details are revealing what words still have not admitted. Something huge is waiting for you. They thought they had enough control to keep everything carefully contained, but emotions do not always obey plans. Sometimes a heart reaches a point where silence becomes louder than speech, and that is exactly where they are now. There are moments when they almost speak openly, almost send something, almost reveal more than intended, but then they pause. Not because the feeling is weak, but because they understand that once truth is spoken, nothing remains the same. Yet even hesitation has limits. The truth is pressing forward. And every day, the inner resistance becomes weaker. Stay till the end. Because the next shift may come through something very small but unforgettable. An unexpected word, a different tone, a message that feels unusual, a sudden openness that was never there before. They are beginning to accept that what they feel has grown beyond temporary emotion. It has become part of their daily thinking, part of their quiet decisions, part of the way they now see the future. That realization is changing them from within. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There is also something else you should understand. Hidden feelings often reveal themselves first through energy before action. Before words arrive, the atmosphere changes. Before clarity comes, there is a strange pull, a sense that something important is approaching. That is why lately the silence may feel different, not empty, but full of something preparing itself. And they feel it too. They may not explain it clearly yet, but inwardly they know something is moving toward a moment that can no longer be delayed forever. Because once truth becomes stronger than fear, expression follows naturally. And that moment is drawing closer. Stay till the end, because what has been covered for so long is slowly losing every place left to hide. The heart that once stayed guarded is now carrying more honesty than before, and soon that honesty will begin to show in ways impossible to miss. A quiet turning point is already happening, even if no one has named it yet. What has been hidden for so long is reaching the moment where even the smallest sign begins to carry meaning. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. They are no longer only feeling deeply. They are beginning to question why your presence continues to rise above every distraction. This question has followed them into quiet mornings, late evenings, and those moments when everything appears normal on the outside but feels different within. The answer they are slowly discovering is one they can no longer avoid. What they feel has become real enough to change their inner world. Stay till the end, because this next part matters more than it first appears. There was a recent moment when they tried once again to convince themselves that silence was easier. They thought distance would help them remain steady. But instead of becoming calmer, they noticed something unexpected. Your absence made their thoughts louder. That surprised them. Because many things can be ignored for a while, but what returns repeatedly with stronger force usually carries meaning that cannot be dismissed. Now they are paying attention to details they once overlooked. They notice how quickly their mood changes when reminded of you. They notice how certain memories return with unusual clarity. They notice that among many faces, one image remains strongest in their mind, and it is yours. Do not skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. Even more surprising, they have started imagining what honesty would feel like. Not just briefly, but seriously. They imagine what could happen if they stopped protecting every emotion and allowed truth to breathe openly. This thought used to frighten them, but now it is becoming difficult to push away. And that is where everything begins to shift. A hidden feeling becomes powerful when imagination starts turning into intention. At first, they only remembered. Then they wondered. Now they are reaching the point where they may act differently because of what they feel. Stay till the end. Because there is another layer you have not yet seen. Someone around them may already sense that something has changed. Perhaps not the full story, but enough to notice that your name carries unusual weight. Enough to notice pauses, softened expressions, moments of sudden silence, or unexpected curiosity when you are mentioned. These small reactions are revealing more than words. And what they once guarded carefully is beginning to show through those unnoticed moments. Something huge is waiting for you. There are times when they look calm outwardly, yet inwardly they are revisiting conversations that never fully happened. They replay what could have been said differently. They imagine how things might feel if truth had arrived earlier. This inner replay is not random, it is a sign that the heart is preparing itself for clarity. Because people return repeatedly only to what still matters deeply. Do not skip. Because what is coming next is the part they did not plan for. Their feelings are no longer staying in the same place. They are growing stronger through reflection. The more they understand themselves, the harder it becomes to remain unchanged. Even ordinary days are beginning to feel incomplete in ways they cannot explain. That incompleteness is teaching them something important. Hidden emotions do not disappear simply because they are ignored. They gather strength quietly. And eventually they begin asking for expression. Stay till the end, because this moment is closer than it appears. A sudden opening can arrive when least expected, a softer tone, a new courage, a message sent after long hesitation, a choice that surprises even them. Often the heart waits until the exact moment when silence feels heavier than speaking. That weight is increasing now. And what was once protected behind caution is beginning to lean toward revelation. Something huge is waiting for you. Because every hidden feeling has a point where it stops hiding, and this story is moving steadily toward that point. The hidden truth is now standing closer to the surface than ever before, and what once felt impossible to reveal is beginning to move with its own force. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There is a moment in every silent story when the heart becomes tired of carrying everything alone. That moment has started forming inside them. What they tried to keep organized, controlled, and unspoken is becoming difficult to manage because the feeling itself keeps asking to be acknowledged. They are noticing how often your memory appears without invitation. Not only in quiet moments, but in the middle of ordinary tasks, during conversations, during pauses when nothing special should happen, and yet suddenly, there you are again in their thoughts. Stay till the end, because what happens next explains why everything feels different now. A powerful realization has entered their mind: some feelings do not fade because they were never temporary. This thought arrived slowly, but now it returns clearly. They understand that despite all efforts to remain unaffected, something in them still turns toward you with unusual certainty. That certainty is changing their silence. Because now they are beginning to ask themselves questions they once avoided. Why does your absence still matter? Why does one thought about you shift the mood of an entire day? Why does every attempt to move away emotionally return to the same place? The answers are becoming impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. There may have been a recent moment when they almost revealed more than intended. A sentence nearly spoken. A message nearly sent. A reaction almost impossible to hide. Even if nothing fully happened outwardly, inwardly it mattered because they felt how close honesty came. And once someone reaches that edge, returning to complete silence becomes difficult. The heart remembers that moment. It repeats it. It asks again. Stay till the end. Because this hidden chapter is now carrying momentum. They are also beginning to see you differently. Not as a passing thought, not as a distant memory, but as someone whose presence still shapes emotions in real time. That shift is important because when someone starts viewing another person through lasting meaning, their future choices begin changing quietly. What once felt uncertain is becoming clearer inside them. Something huge is waiting for you. Even their private thoughts have changed tone. What used to sound like doubt now sounds more like recognition. What used to feel like confusion now feels closer to acceptance. They are not simply wondering anymore, they are understanding. And understanding creates movement. That is why the silence around this connection feels unusual lately. It is not empty silence. It is silence carrying hidden thought, unfinished courage, and emotion preparing itself carefully. Do not skip. Because one unexpected moment can reveal what many silent days were building. Sometimes truth appears through something simple. A softer greeting, longer attention, a changed expression, an unusual warmth that cannot be explained casually. Small signs often arrive first because the heart tests honesty before speaking fully. And they are already close to that stage. Stay till the end, because this matters deeply. What they once guarded as a private feeling is slowly becoming too alive to remain private forever. The more they understand what you mean to them, the less comfortable distance becomes. And that discomfort is important. Because it often comes just before action changes. Something huge is waiting for you. The story has not reached its loudest moment yet, but it is clearly moving toward a point where what was hidden will no longer feel natural to hide. What has been hidden is now standing at the edge of revelation, and the quiet story that stayed buried for so long is reaching a moment where even they can no longer deny what has taken root inside them. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. There comes a time when feelings become too clear to remain locked behind silence, and that time is drawing very near. They have carried these thoughts through ordinary days, through distractions, through attempts to stay unaffected, yet every path keeps leading them back to the same truth: you continue to matter more than they expected. Stay till the end, because the deepest part of this story is here. Recently, they may have experienced a moment of complete stillness where everything around them faded for a second, and one truth rose clearly: no matter how much time passes, your presence still touches something deep within them. That realization did not come lightly. It arrived after repeated resistance, after many efforts to stay distant emotionally, after trying to explain everything logically. But the heart does not always follow logic. And now they know that what they feel is not passing away quietly. Do not skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. They have started understanding that hidden emotions leave signs everywhere. A delayed response because thoughts became heavy. A quiet smile appearing without reason. A sudden pause when remembering something connected to you. These signs may look small from outside, but inside them they carry enormous meaning. Because every small reaction now confirms what they tried not to admit. You have remained present in places where they expected silence. That is why they are changing inwardly. Stay till the end. Because there is one truth they are only now accepting: what they kept secret has already become stronger than fear. This changes everything. When feelings become stronger than fear, hesitation begins losing power. The mind still tries to slow things down, but the heart keeps moving forward quietly, asking for honesty, asking for expression, asking for release. That inner pressure is growing. Something huge is waiting for you. They may not reveal everything suddenly, but even now they are closer than before to allowing more truth to appear. A different tone, a softer choice, an unexpected openness, these things often arrive before words fully explain what is happening. And when that first opening happens, it usually surprises everyone, including the one who stayed silent the longest. Do not skip. Because hidden feelings often become visible all at once after a long season of silence. What makes this powerful is that they are no longer fighting the truth the same way. Earlier they resisted it. Now they observe it. They sit with it. They return to it. They ask themselves what it means for their future. That question itself is a major shift. Because people only ask future questions about what they feel is important enough to remain. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The story you could not fully see before is no longer standing still. Every hidden thought, every unspoken emotion, every silent memory has been building toward clarity. And clarity always changes the atmosphere before it changes the visible moment. That is why something feels different now. Because deep inside them, the secret is no longer comfortable staying secret. What once stayed buried now wants light. And the closer they come to honesty, the stronger every sign becomes. Something huge is waiting for you. The silence has carried meaning for longer than you knew, but now that meaning is nearing the point where it cannot remain covered forever.